Hello, hello, hello. Dirty Trucking, Dirty Trucking. It's 11:01. I'm about to get started. Every day I try to get out here and get started immediately, and I seem to can't, or either I'm just so exhausted that I don't get out here. So I got out here a little early enough to actually get breakfast at McDonald's, because normally I'm not out this time. And I got on the phone immediately trying to address the issues that's going on with possibly cause me to end up having to turn the not get the vehicle extended. It would interrupt my income and then put me in a financial disaster. So I immediately got on the phone with Hertz. I don't understand what's going on here. I get on the phone. I get a lady from Hertz. I tell her the situation. I mention the name Josh. She wants to tell me that Josh is her son-in-law. And goes into telling me how she's been here for 5 years. Well, that's all irrelevant. I don't care that he's your son-in-law. I don't really care how long you've been here. All I care about is, do you know what the fuck you doing? And do you know what's going on here with this issue? That's all I need to know. Do you know what the fuck you're doing? And do you know what the fuck is going on? That's who I need to be speaking to. Who knows what's going on? Who can take a look at what's happened here and what I've said and figure out what the fuck is going on? Give me some answers. So she couldn't. So I told her, could you speak with Josh? Because he said he emailed the corporate yesterday, this company's corporate. She put me on hold. I come back talking about he didn't get a response. Then she tells me, I said, well, can I speak to a supervisor? Then she went to go talk about I was yelling. You know, you're not going to keep converting back to that yelling shit. I'm on a phone call through the car. My voice is authoritative. You're no longer going to keep talking to me talking about I'm yelling. Talking about I'm arguing. Ain't nobody arguing. What it is when you repeat something back to the individual that told you this and it don't make sense now to them, and you have repeated it in a manner letting them know that you know they're lying, they get upset and then want to start saying that you arguing with them. No, I'm not arguing with you. I just repeated back what you said to me and told you it didn't make sense and pretty much said you're a liar. You got upset and want to say I'm arguing. No, I called you a liar. That's a difference. I took what you told to me and comprehended it, evaluated it, couldn't make it make sense, repeated it back to you, and said you're a liar in so many words. And her response, the young lady response was, you're arguing. No, I said you're a liar and you couldn't handle it. So now you want to say I'm arguing. No, you would try to say something to make it sound like you're not lying to me. And I respond with words, making you realize I know you've been lying to me. I don't deal with businesses that lie. I don't like corrupt. I don't like scammers. I don't like people causing me problems. I don't like dealing with people that don't know what the fuck they doing or don't have some idea. You don't know what the fuck going on. I don't like people who ain't got a clue or don't know how to get a clue. Can't find a clue. Never had the clue. But you've been running your mouth like you do. So, long story short, she want to talk that yelling stuff. You can cut that out. I need to speak to a supervisor. She puts me on hold. Come back talking about her boss said they own it, they look into it. So and then this she went to tell me she managed to get somebody on the phone from Uncle Ed's corporate. Then she told me she tried to call the shop, couldn't get Maddie on the phone. Okay. But somehow she managed to get somebody from their corporate. They answered immediately. Oh, they answered. They did something Josh wasn't able to get him to do. Your son-in-law, Josh. Then he didn't get a response. They tell you the email. See, that's what happened when they working at home. You telling them and you got to email them and tell them to answer the phone. They're not answering the phone. So this was an immediate situation that needed attention, and somebody needed to answer the phone immediately yesterday, because this would cause me not to be able to get my car extended. So after getting my McDonald's, I drive back up to Uncle Ed's. I end up there with the same manager that was there yesterday. We got it was getting a little heated when I was in the garage, because I was questioning why would he shred that document. He was talking about he had my information on. I said, but I just left 10 minutes ago, and I don't understand why he would shred it, knowing there could be an issue with you getting payment, the billing. So I come in, I tell him that they still have an issue. Is it possible you could resubmit it? He said they're doing that right now. Matter of fact, he said after I left, he got on the phone with them and told them that they needed attention to this immediately. Issue. Actually had a receipt for me, same receipt I saw. Actually, the zero that I saw on here says change is zero. The charge was $48. And I do have the receipt, Uncle Ed's. So charge is $48. Wait a minute, where is it? What is it? $48, like I said. And the zeros down here means change, because I didn't give him any cash. I thought there was zero balance. So I'm like, somebody paid it. So it has zero for change on there. But this invoice proves what I was saying, that I went there and I had an oil change on Monday. But now I asked them, did they explain why Hertz is saying they didn't get it? He said he don't think they're going to get all into that, but right now they're working on it. And I do that his boss sent him something to give me if he end up speaking to the customer again. So I came back up there. Me and the guy had a nice chat. I told him, I love Uncle Ed's. I recommend Uncle Ed's, especially the one on, if you're ever in Harper, St. Clair Shores. I believe it's just past 13 Mile. Uncle Ed's on Harper, St. Clair Shores, Michigan. I can recommend that shop to anybody. Even though this unfortunate incident happened, I didn't understand why they shredded it, because that was my concern. I said there's a discrepancy here. Why would he shred their receipt? Seems like that's the only possible evidence that we had that I was actually here, because they don't show anything on the computer. He was talking about it because I had my information on it. I was like, but 10 minutes, I was gone on the 10 minutes, and he shredded it that quick. It was disturbing. But the matter's being looked into. Long as it don't interfere with me extending my vehicle. I have a copy of the receipt now, which you just saw. I don't want to say things all good, because it's not all good until they figure out what the hell happened here. I don't believe the shop didn't send it. I believe the issue was on Hertz end. This here, getting your family on the phone and all this other shit. What is all this about? We have an issue here that needs to be dealt with. So, but Uncle Ed's 10-minute oil change on Harper and St. Clair Shores is the best place I've ever went to for an oil change. They are fast, long as they get the approval from Hertz expeditiously. Their service is exquisite. I love the place. You're in and out. The only holdup I've ever had has always been on Hertz end. Never their end. It's always Hertz end. And that's when I went back there and told the manager. I said, I'm sorry this even happened. This is the most unbelievable story I've heard for my life. I said the invoice had zero on there, but I see that says change is zero. But I saw the charge of $48. $48. I said somebody had to pay it. So I couldn't have rolled out of there if the young man wasn't approved to do the work. And he confirmed that. He can't do the work unless he's approved. The charge was $48. The zero I'm seeing was actually saying no change. Change is zero. So still to me, that's saying that it was paid. The change is zero. It was $48 charge. Total was $48. Change zero. That's showing me it's paid. Though it says change. It didn't say balance zero, it said change. But to hand me an invoice, to open the door and I rolled out, that means something got paid. Something was approved for them to do the work. So, long story short, I believe the issue was on Hertz end. I don't know what the fuck happened here. All these games. I don't know why this lady, today when I get ready to call, this lady wants to get on the phone, talking about she been there 5 years, and I mentioned Josh's name. Oh, that's my son-in-law. I can verify he do work here. Okay. Why are you telling me all this? We have an issue here. I don't care who the fuck you are. Do you know what caused this issue? Why don't you have this? This oil change was done on Monday. You notified me Wednesday about the not being able to extend the vehicle, and I got thrown into this damn shit. I only take and deal with shops that I have good repertoire with, good relationships with. I don't have any issues with. Even when I was with trucking, I told the guy, I'm in shops all day. That's been my life because I was a truck driver. I had a semi. I've been in shops all my life. I'm always in somebody's shop. But being at Uncle Ed's, you can't be standing there because it's a safety concern unless you're a worker there. So, but I had to drive back up there and relay the message because Josh didn't have the corporate information. So that's why I was in the shop. So I drove back up there. We had a nice conversation. Me and the manager that I spoke to yesterday, we had a nice conversation. And I told him, I said, how did you, and I asked about the invoice. I said, Hertz seemed to be under the impression that the young man printed out a manual invoice. How do you print out a manual invoice? He didn't print out a manual invoice. I said, I watched the young man put the stuff in the computer. Everything. It printed out the sticker. When he completed the job, he gave me the invoice. If the work wasn't approved, I wouldn't have an invoice. The charge was $48. I got an invoice and I drove out. If there was an issue, he would have saw that on the computer screen. So the issue was on Hertz end, like it always is. There's always something going on between them and the line that be going on with me at Uber. And the stealing of my money. There's just too much going on here. So I have a copy of the receipt now. Like I said. Let's see, that says Uncle Ed's. You see it said $48. Like I said, it was $48. I know what I was talking about. There was an invoice. I don't like nobody talking to me like I imagine the oil change. So I deal with people that know what they're doing. Uncle Ed's on Harper and St. Clair Shores, that's the only one I've been to so far, does excellent work. You in and out, they thorough. Have a nice day. Even though this unfortunate incident happened, I still would go there. And I told the manager, I said, even though this happened, I still would bring cars here. I love the place. I like people that know what they're doing. Now, had the manager been there and we had found out that date has jumped off, he probably could have looked into it immediately and then gave me a better explanation of how Hertz didn't receive the receipt. See, I don't know who the fault here. I know it's not Uncle Ed's because they sent it. So, because they had this, because Uncle Ed's corporate couldn't send a receipt back to the guy to give to me if he saw me today. So, there was a receipt, which means it was sent. Why Hertz Maintenance didn't get it, I don't know. But I don't know if to blame this on these individual that's been causing all these computer issues with me, all this strange computer shit going on, the strange messages through the phone, and all this shit. Even the volume on my radio in the car. When I started hearing the electronic harassment noise, the volume on the radio in my car. Now, when I attach the phone to the car, it takes control of the volume. But it's not supposed to take control of the actual local radio volume. Only the volume that I'm using on the phone and the volume for the radio I'm playing through the phone. When I switch to local radio, I should be able to turn this all the way up to get loud. I noticed the car, when I put it on local radio, I have to turn it to all the way loud, as far as it can go, to start hearing the radio loud. And then I would have to disconnect the phone from the car to get the volume back. That's another thing that's going on. Whatever they're doing it through the cell phone, and they've been messing with the volume on the car. Why? It's as if they're preventing me from turning the volume up to drown out the electronic harassment noise. Every device I get that has volume, even my earbuds, they were doing it with it. My iHeartRadio, when I first got my earbuds, the volume was loud. And then, all of a sudden, it wouldn't go up loud like it used to when I first got them. The car radio, now it's doing it. They playing with the volume. Somebody is messing with the volume. So, I don't know because I don't blame Uncle Ed's. I think they did exactly what they did. I've never had a problem with them. It's always been on Hertz end. I don't know who to blame here. Is it this weird computer shit that's been going on? Because somebody seems to be playing games with me, making it look like I'm doing stuff that I'm not doing. They've been going around telling people I'm doing shit that I'm not doing. And these people been listening to these dumbass people. And then you playing games with the computers. You causing problems through the computers. And then cause the problem. This could be that hacker or whoever this is that's been doing shit through the computer the whole fucking time. I don't know what caused this. But I've had it happen before. I got an alert from Hertz talking about the car needs attention, bring the car back. And I found out it was an oil change. And so happened when I get their maintenance on the phone, the lady that day, coincidentally, talking about the invoice just came through. I just put it through. You okay now? Oh, it just came through. That was from a previous time. What happened today? Why you ain't get it? Their corporate had a copy of it. That mean it was sent. Like I kept telling them, and like the manager told them, they can't access the receipt once it's been sent. And once he destroyed that copy that he had in there, he has no way of getting it unless he go through corporate. Corporate sent him the copy of the receipt. So, another thing, the check engine light is off. It was on. It seems to pop up during the lottery games. It's not on anymore. I noticed that. They were talking about the VIN number and the license plate, talking about everything match, talking about the color of the car, everything match. Because that's what you got to do with the Powerball and Mega Million. You got to match the balls. They going to figure out what the fuck you doing. It's a lot going on here. It ain't just a lottery. You're stealing money. It's a lot going on here. And somebody is playing games with me and causing all these problems. So this dirty trucking out. I'm going to get to work. Hopefully they get this shit straightened out. But if not, I got a copy of receipt. It's dirty trucking. Still dealing with these liars and the people who cause the problems for me. It's time for me to go. I can't deal with it. It's too stressful here now. It's time for me to go. And wherever I go, you're not going to be interfering with me no more. Period. Peace out.